Hi guys, it's Amy at the Crafted Cottage. I have a Facebook Live that went out today and I watched it online and the audio was really messed up, so I decided to go ahead and re-record it, and I will put it on my YouTube channel for you who follow me on my blog. That way you can actually get the correct video. At the end I couldn't get it to do anything, so I'm hoping with this video, since I'm creating it myself, I'm going to do some auto caps and see if I can get some writing on here to actually give you what size and measurements of things are. I mean, if not, those will always be in the blog and posted with measurements, and I'm going to try to start doing tutorials. This may be one I do a tutorial on that you can actually print out, because this one was I don't know whether it was an internet issue. We've been having some internet issues with it raining, and we have them coming out tomorrow to check our cable from the pole to the house because there's some problems there. Otherwise, we've been okay, so I really don't get it, but, you know, whatever. It is I am technologically challenged, and trying to find a YouTube video to try to correct it all just was not working. So, it's been a good morning. My favorite shirt. This is my favorite shirt, and it's ripped right here in the middle, and I'm like, oh, I find it out, you know, at the very end of me getting dressed and ready to roll for my 10:30 live, which turns out to be a mess. So, here we go. I'm going to try this way, and that way it's just recorded. I know you're getting quality recording and video from me. So, I'm going to put you to the bottom so you can see what we're going to do, and hopefully you'll still see me. Or still hear me anyway. Alright, this is my workspace. It is a little messy because, again, I did a live doing these cards this morning, and it wasn't done. This is the one I did live this morning. You can see it there. This is the one that I did originally, and this is another one that I tried after doing this one. I created this one and using stitched rectangles on it, and I wasn't as crazy about this one as I am this one, but then again, I'm in love with that one because this one doesn't have a sentiment on it, but look at all those shimmery sparkles on there from the shimmer paint or shimmer paper that we'll use. And then I use a little wink of Stella dipped in some Early Espresso. So that's how that came out. I just think this one came out beautiful. Just absolutely gorgeous ombre effect. So we're going to start this from scratch. So what you're going to need is a card base, which this is not the card base I'm going to use because it's got my sunflower on it. But this is the size that you will need. It is going to be 8.5 by 4 or 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, this one I have cut out is shimmer white paper. I don't know if you can see the shimmers in it, but I have stamped my sunflower on this. Is what you want to stamp your sunflower in. It holds the blends much better. The original card I got off of Sherry was, she embossed her image, and this is what it does when you emboss the image and you use any kind of blender pen. You can still see the shimmer of the image, but with the colors you chose, or I chose, it just doesn't look good. So I didn't like that. I wanted to go back with the black. I think it makes it look more natural, and I think it makes it stand out more and make it look more three-dimensional, which was what I was going for. So we're going to color this here in a little while. I'm going to show you how to do the ombre effect because it takes a few minutes to dry. So what else you're going to need, besides that card base, you're going to need a piece of Early Espresso, 4 1/4 by 5.5. And I punched out my leaves in the middle, using plenty of room to put my base down. I also have a piece of shimmer white cardstock in 4 by 5 1/4, and then another piece of shimmer white cardstock at 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So those are the sizes you will need, and we're going to start with these two pieces first, the two pieces of shimmer cardstock that are not stamped with your sunflower. We're going to take these and we're going to use a little adhesive that does not glue permanently, and what that will do is help you keep it in place while you put this ombre effect. And you see I have a little bit of a a dirty problem on the ground. I need to get the vacuum out. It doesn't matter. You're not going to see this. This is going to be on the back of our card. So you're going to lay this right in the middle where you want this to go. I kind of put mine towards the top so I'd have room for a sentiment. You're just going to kind of sit that down and make sure that it stays so it's not going to move around a lot on you while you're putting your color down on these two pieces of paper. I am trying to make them straight because my last ones were a little off, but that's okay. You didn't even notice it. Alright, now what we're going to start with is Daffodil Delight ink, and you're going to use a lot of it. Now I just have to go back and find my daffodil ink. Okay, I think this is it. Daffodil, or was it this one? That's my mango. Okay, so this is daffodil. So I'm going to scrub my daffodil. You're just going to scrub it along your ink pad. You're going to take the very top and you're going to just make sure you load that cardstock with ink and get it into those creases, and tons of it. I mean, you can just use as much as your little heart desires for this, and go down lightly so that you get this nice dark to light band. And of course my puppy wants in. Haha, of course he's going to come in right in the middle of my YouTube video. Oh, such has been my life today. Okay, so once you have your Daffodil Delight on, I'm going to put it a little thicker right here. But you want it to kind of fade out because your next color is going to go right over that. So it's Daffodil Delight to start. The second color is Mango Melody, which I love this color. It came out and I was like, that is not my favorite. I don't like that color. Yeah, I had bought 2 packs of paper and now I'm doing this project. I just love it. So you're going to take this one and you're going to go right into the same line you started so that it overlaps. And you're going to keep doing this until you get the consistency of this color that you want. And again, you want to have it kind of fade down so that it can blend into the very next color that you're going to use. Alright, so there's our Mango Melody. Mango Melody. And then we're going to use Pumpkin Pie. And let's figure out which one of these is Pumpkin Pie. That is not Pumpkin Pie. I think it's this one. Yes, Pumpkin Pie. Again, you'll do the same things where you're just scrubbing it off the pad. Now you could do this with Stampin' Up's little rolling sponges if you'd like. But that would take a lot of going over it, and this way you can actually get a lot of ink on your paper at one time. And you're going to do this one like you did before. Start right where it starts to fade, and make sure you go up in it a little bit. And I mean, I've gotten into making these scenes, and I've just become super inky all of a sudden, and just, wow, the results are amazing. Alright, now I've got my pumpkin pie on there. Now I still have 2 other colors to put on here, believe it or not. Okay, pumpkin pie. The next one we're going to do is terracotta tile. And I don't know which one of these is a darker color. That's the... Okay, this is terracotta tile. I think by the end of the day, I am going to be an orange ball of mess. Alright, and we're going to do the same thing with this one as we did before, just kind of blending it up just a little bit, and then making sure you blend out to the bottom. And I'm trying to keep my fingers clean because I don't want them to mix in with the other colors. I'm not doing a lot of terracotta tile on this one because I really like the crushed, or the Cajun Craze. It's my favorite color. Cajun Craze. It's one of my happy fall colors. Alright, now we're going to go to Cajun Craze. So we're finished with terracotta tile. And now Cajun Craze. Now I'm going to flip my card over a little bit so that I can actually do it this way. And again, do the same thing. Rub your sponge, and then we're just bringing that color right into it. You can tell where my sponge is really thick and full. There we go. That's good color. And that's nice and full and great rich color. There we go. Alright, now this needs to just sit to the side and dry up. But isn't that a beautiful sunset colors? I mean, they're gorgeous. Can you imagine this with some mountains on that? That may be something else I do. I love this color. Thank you, Sherry, so much for these colors. Okay, now you see I'm a nice hot mess right now. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I need to wash all of those and myself. But give me a second to get a rag. Alright, now I'm back. I'm going to wipe my hands up a bit and we'll get on with getting these nice and clean. Gotta get all this color off of me, or I'll have it everywhere else. It'll dry up here, but not on my fingers. Okay, I'm going to put all of these in my bowl to go get washed. There. Okay. What I really should do is keep a bucket so I can have all of my colors with a sponge and a clip and use them. But I digress. Next thing we're going to do is color our sunflower. Now I start out with just basically the same colors. I'm going to start out with the So Saffron. I like to use the light So Saffron to start out, and I will also use it to blend together at the end of my coloring. So I just blend in some So Saffron. I don't have to be perfect as to where they go. You can use either one, dark or light So Saffron. My So Saffron is seriously lacking. I'm going to have to go with the dark one, because I've used so much of it to do these cards. I've done so many of them, and I love them, and I wouldn't be doing another one right now if it weren't for the lovely Facebook Live / YouTube / internet. Who knows what went wrong? I don't, but I didn't want you all to miss out on doing this. So what you're going to do is literally just color your flower in with your lightest color first, all the way around. I hope everyone's doing well and staying safe with all the COVID. It seems like some of the restrictions are losing. I'm afraid we're going to go backwards though for winter. People are just going to start getting together and it's going to be really bad. And I so miss my family, and I'm supposed to go to my mom's house for Thanksgiving, and she's been sick and I really want to go, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to have her, but you know, I also know she doesn't want to make me sick, but I don't want her to be by herself either. So alright, I have got all of my So Saffron. I use the dark on this one. So I'm going to go next to Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to use, that's Mango Melody. Where's my Daffodil Delight? I'm going to use the dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to go along these lines that they tell me that makes the details in these flowers, and I'm just going to put lots of color in here with the narrow tip of my Daffodil Delight. And I'm using the dark one, and we're just going to come in here and put lines of color all over all these dark bold lines. That's the thing I like about some of these detailed stamps, is they give you all of the color that you need and direction with all the lines on there. Now when the stamp doesn't have the lines, that's where I get into trouble, because I am not good at telling where definition needs to be, light and dark shadows. I'm just not a very good painter. or drawer. I cannot draw to save my soul. You know, I would just not. If I had to do it to save my soul, it would be a really bad picture. So we're going to go in here, make all these pretty little colors pop and come to life to make this beautiful sunflower have lots and lots of sunshine and bring happiness and joy to everyone. Alright, that's the Daffodil Delight, and we're going to do Mango Melody in the dark as well. As soon as I find it. I know it's up here because, you know, my desk is crazy right now doing all of these. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with Mango Melody. Just adding lots of color. And you don't see much of a difference in color in the Mango Melody and the Daffodil Delight, but I tell you what, if you don't put them on there, you will notice it when you're finished. You'll have your light, your dark and bold at the corners here in the center, but something will be missing and lacking in that depth in these leaves, and you won't be able to tell exactly what it is. Alright, I've got quite a bit of that in there. So now I'm going to start with the oranges. I'm going to do dark pumpkin pie, and then we're going to do Cajun Craze, because we don't do a terracotta tile. And I'm going to do this in the brush stroke because my edges will be really deep. These will be nice and thick right here. Nice and thick strokes, getting all that color in there. And I'm just doing thin strokes right here where these flowers kind of curl in on themselves. And then I'm going to come in lightly and add, I need the other tip for this, just adding some other dimensional color in these really thick lines. And you can tell, like you see these lines here, they're real thick and they're bold. That's where you need to add that extra dimension of color. And that's one of the reasons, because I'm putting so many layers of color on, that the shimmer white paper is the best paper to use for the blends, because it holds lots of color when you're doing that much color. You're just coloring a little kitty cat, and you know, you're not putting a lot of different colors in it. You know, a regular piece of Whisper White would be fine. Or, you know, you could probably use your thick Whisper White on this. It probably would do just as well. I don't know. I like the shimmery of this paper a lot better than the thick regular cardstock. I like the thick Whisper White cardstock for my bases. Okay, there's my pumpkin pie. Now we're going to go full-fledged into the dark Cajun Craze. And again with this one, I'm going to go out, but I'm going to keep these strokes kind of short, really close to the center. And then just dark here along the edges. And then do really long, really short strokes here in the center so that my center stays super dark and shadowy. Then I'm going back to my little tip, and I'm going to add some deep color in here. And you'll see it's some of the same places I've been going over and over. But you won't get a lot of these long strokes with this Cajun Craze. At least you shouldn't, because it shouldn't all be that dark. Alright, I think we're almost done with the Cajun Craze. Now, and then I'll check out what I think. And I think I'm going to come back in with a little bit of the light Cajun Craze and extend this out a little bit right here. And just kind of do a few strokes here and there, make them really long. Not a lot of them. And you're just going to place just random, you know, it gives it a little more depth. And it's okay if you get out of the lines, because we're going to cut this out, so you're not going to see anything that you've gotten out of the lines.
Alright, I've got my outside done. Now, I'm going to go back with that soft, let's go back with the light one. Daffodil Delight. So Saffron. We're going to come back in here with the So Saffron. Yep. Light So Saffron. We're going to blend all these colors together. You don't have to hit everything. You just want to blend all those colors together and kind of keep the strokes going out in most of it. Kind of covers up any mistakes, blends it all together. I do see a spot here that should have a little bit of this Cajun Craze in it. Alright, there we go. Now onto the center. Because we don't have Early Espresso in the blends, I chose to just do the soft suede. The very center right here, I'm just going to go in a circle around here with the light soft suede. Then I'm going to come in with the very dark soft suede, and I'm going to just do this around where it's really dark, filling it in, and then come in the very center and do that really darkly. And go back around my sides so that you have that light ring around it. And then I'm coming back in again and just blending the whole thing with the light soft suede. And I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes to let everything meld and dry. Look how deep and rich that looks. Just, isn't that a gorgeous sunflower? Once it dries up, this brown will ease up a little bit and it will look totally different. But I mean, you can tell in these other ones just how rich they're going to look. Alright, we're going to sit this aside and let it dry. Actually, I'm going to go cut it out. I'll be right back. Okay, I have my sunflower cut out. And I did want to show you something that I do with my stamps. Is I have all of my dies over here, and then I have my stamps over here. I leave this little section in that divides up all of my stamps, so I know exactly what I'm missing. And then I have all of my dies. I also keep the original, oh, I have a couple extra pieces here. I keep the original piece that comes with my die cut, so if I ever decided to sell it, I would have everything, so the new owner would have everything. I also keep an envelope full of all of my pre-cut, because I'll sit sometimes and just color and cut a bunch of different flowers and things, and I'll leave them in an envelope and leave it inside, so I have my bits and pieces whenever I need them. It's a great way to keep your stamp set safe. And to keep all those spare pieces that you really want to work on. Okay, let's put this together. Now we have this beautiful ombre effect that is dried. I'm going to peel it apart for the moment. Okay, now what we're going to do is put dimensionals on the back of this. And we're going to use a double layer of dimensionals to give it a thicker layer. And I'm going to put 5 dimensionals on it. 1 in the middle and 1 in each corner. And then once I've got these on, I will go back and put another set of dimensionals on it. Do not remove these yet. We are going to do plenty to this piece of paper before we take these off and layer it back on. But I wanted to get these on so that I knew where it would be. In my last video, I put it together and was like, oh, wait, I forgot to add the ribbon. And so I had to show you how to take off the dimensionals and put them back on when necessary, because I messed up. So there's our base. That's what we're going to start out with. I'm going to take and put 2 dimensionals on my sunflower that I have colored. Just 2 in the middle. It doesn't have to be anywhere particular. And then I'm going to decide where I want this to be. I'm going to go ahead and take it off. Take the dimensionals off. This will be the first thing I stick down because it will determine the rest of the card. I like it to hang over some because I'm going to have this underneath this as well. So it's going to be basically like this. So I don't mind if it's going to hang over this Early Espresso. It doesn't bother me at all, but I don't want it to go past the Early Espresso. So I'm trying to make sure where it's going to be. There we go. I really wish we had a die cut that would have worked well for this. There we go. That's good enough. That'll work. It'll keep it all in an envelope and it won't get broken. So I'm just going to put this to the side and we're going to work on this piece now. Next thing you're going to want to do is put, I've got the gingham ribbon here. It's Bumblebee gingham ribbon, and I'm literally just going to take a piece to go here and I'm going to trim it off as soon as I find my lovely scissors that are amid this pile of madness, which I really need to stop and clean the madness. And then I can do another video tomorrow for you guys. Well, I don't know that I'll get to do it tomorrow. I have the grandkids tomorrow. But I need to do another video. I've been doing gatefold cards with symmetrical shapes. So they came out really cool. And I did one and I mailed it out and didn't have it to show you guys, which was kind of sad. But it was very sad that I had to send that card anyway in itself because, you know. But I will recreate it for you so you can see it and have it in my pile for later. Alright, we're going to put this here. Just going to put it down and then we're going to make sure it's straight. Wrap it around. I just think the gingham looks beautiful with the sunflowers. And then we're going to take this, I love this tulle ribbon. This tulle ribbon is the bomb. We used to sell it in Very Vanilla, which I would have liked on this, but since the edge of everything else is Whisper White, it was fine. This is Whisper White. You can dye it any other color you would like, although we don't have vanilla. And I'm just going to tie it around. And I'm not putting a bow, I'm just doing it straight across. Here's my other scissors. These are much better scissors for what I'm doing. I want this one to go over here, so we're just going to trim it off. And then I'm going to adjust it where I want it. I really want it to go over the gingham. There we go. Whoops. So we've got the tulle over top of the gingham. It looks like it's meant to be that way. There we go. And then I'm going to move this a little this way. I don't want the bow in the center like that. I kind of want it back here. There we go. Okay. Alright, I think it got caught underneath and some glue, so we're just going to leave it like that. That one's good, and I'm going to trim this one down a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to put in all of these lovely little embellishments that I did. I cut these out of the or the metallic cardstocks that we've got now. It's kind of like a foil. It comes in a copper, a brass, and a gold. I'm using the copper ones here. I have a single sprig die that comes with it and a double sprig. I'm going to put those this way. And then I'm going to place these. I have 2 of those and 2 leaves cut out of Early Espresso. So I'm just going to cut these out. You can save these little pieces and fill in a leaf somewhere else if you'd like. You could also cut these leaves out with our adhesive strips, and it would make it much easier to put them down on your Early Espresso leaf, your solid leaf. But this gives your leaves just a little bit of dimension. I don't fill the whole thing in because I like it to look like it's coming off. And we'll just put these down here like this, and if they move around, it's not a big deal. It's going to look really cool. Moving around or not, it looks awesome. Got to take these out again. And this is probably at the point in my other video that it messes up. I mean, it totally lost all audio, and you had no idea what I was saying. And this time I at least know I have music in the background, and I have me talking. So I'm sorry I have music in the background. I forgot about it, and it's a little late to turn it off. You know, everybody's got to have their little crafty things, and I like music when I'm working. It gets me in the groove. Okay, now that I've got my my copper on my Early Espresso, I'm just going to take these and stick them underneath my sunflower a little bit. And I'm just using a clear Tombow. It is Tombow Mono Liquid Glue. It dries clear. It is clear. I like it. It's very similar to the green bottles that Stampin' Up! Carries, the multi-liquid glue, which is what I prefer, but it is on back order. See, this one moved off a little bit, and it's okay. We're just going to leave it just like that. But anyway, the Tombow glue is on back order right now, and it's become a problem, so I did the bad thing, and I went to Michael's. And I used my 50% off coupon, and I got me some glue, because I was running out. Not a good thing when you're crafter, running out of glue. I mean, I can always use my tape runner, but I don't like using my tape runner for everything. I mean, I don't know about you, but I just don't. And we're going to put a little bit more glue on this one and place this one in. There we go. Those are on. Now we can take the backs of these off and put them on here and put our splatter effect on, which is really cool. I never really got it until I follow someone, I don't know who she is, and I don't even remember, but she's like, you know, you've got those Wink of Stellas that you hoard, and they're almost out, and you can barely get anything, and you think they're all gone, but you still see the glitter. Well, just use water and ink, and you can make some more Wink of Stella. She is fabulous. I mean, that is the best way to use up extra supplies. Or make sure you get every drop used out of your supplies. Alright. That one is down. So now I've got this all set up the way I want. And this is not an empty Wink of Stella, but I have plenty of old Wink of Stellas that I have done this with. If you are out of your Wink of Stella and you think you don't have any, you can take that Wink of Stella and you can take a drop of your Early Espresso ink, mix it with water, and then you just do this. This is already some Wink of Stella I have in here with some water, and I've got some Early Espresso mixed into it. I want it a little darker, so I'm just going to add some more Early Espresso, and I'm literally going to have it come out. Get me a bubble of it here, down here on the ends, and you just tap it around, and you're going to have some glitters. And you could do this plain with wing Castelli. You don't have to add color to it, but I really like the idea of adding a little extra Early Espresso to it, and it just gives that little extra shimmery on there. See? It's on the sunflower a little bit. It's on the ombre background. Now we're just going to take and adhere this to our Early Espresso cardstock. There we go. Probably have glue where I don't need to have it, but we'll find out in a second. There we go. I'm going to pull it up because I know I have, not much. But there is our base of our card, and I'm going to finish it off with some gilded gems that are in gold, just plain old gold. And I'm going to put these randomly around my card, different sizes. There we go. And I've left room here for a I left room here for a sentiment, or you could put it at the bottom. Our new banner punch would work really well to put like Happy Fall, y'all, or Happy Thanksgiving. Any one of those would work great. And again, I put this on a 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 base of Whisper White thick cardstock. So there you have it. There's the card I did, and I think it is just the most beautiful card. I love this one. It really came out gorgeous. I don't know what you think, but I think I'm going to have some happy customers when they get these beautiful cards. Y'all have a wonderful day, and thanks again for stopping by and having some time with me.